Hello from the land of TV. This is King Cool, and welcome to the Penalty Box. I took too much time, and now I'm paying for it. In this inaugural episode of the Penalty Box, I shall review Marci X. Marci X is about a pampered socialite played by Lisa Kudrow, whose father is put out of commission when a moralizing senator played by Christine Baranski calls out her father's business because he owns a record company with an offensive rap star named Dr. S, played by Damon Wayans. Marci takes it upon herself to try to reason with Dr. S and see if he'll apologize for the outrage that he's caused. Now, I want to start with the things I actually liked about the movie. Number one, Christine Baranski. I like Christine Baranski. I've liked her ever since I was watching Sybil on CBS in the mid-90s, back when I could actually watch sitcoms. I guess I didn't know any better. She's great. Two, the first 10 minutes or so are decently funny, though, strangely, I couldn't tell you exactly what I laughed at, and I didn't write anything down. It wasn't anything big. It was a lot of moments, but it never built to anything, just individually funny moments. I did like a scene later in the movie when Marci and Dr. S are in the back of a limo with the socialite and the wealthy rapper compare their fur coats and their diamonds, and I suppose find that they have something in common. I thought that was funny. Now let's talk about what I didn't like. Number one, I don't want to say I didn't like Lisa Kudrow herself, because she does a fine job, but she might be a bit too old to play a character that's this naive. Maybe they thought people would just think that she's still Phoebe, and that she's supposed to be just as dim as she was. Number two, Marci gets called out to go on stage and rap. I swear I'm not making this up. And she starts rapping pretty weakly until she starts rapping about something she knows about. Fashion. So she breaks into this production number rap about fashion and gains the audience's support. The movie's pretty silly, so it's not that this is implausible is the problem. Since we know this is impossible, couldn't the rap have been better? There's a lot of music in this movie, and it's not that great. I'm easy on music since I know very little about music, but you won't be humming anything after this movie's done. Number three. This movie is clearly a satire, but the satire is sadly weak. At one point, Marci claims to know Tybo, and that might have got a laugh at the time, but this is only one step above the movies just pointing out what other movies are also playing on other screens at the multiplex. When you make a movie like this, it might behoove you to think, how is this joke gonna play once nobody knows what I'm talking about? I don't even know if a Tybo joke would have made any sense in 2003. They make fun of NSYNC and imply an analog boy band is made up of homosexuals. I'm sure that was tired even in 2003. Satire is tough because occasionally you come up with something you think is outrageous, and then later on it just becomes the norm. I think that's why I was underwhelmed by Brazil. It just didn't seem that scary, this out-of-control bureaucracy. It just seemed sort of the way things were going. At one point, Dr. S is on stage, and he fires a giant, sparkly firework out of his crotch onto the crowd. This might have been more amusing as an outrageous satire before the music video for Katy Perry's Firework, where she shoots fireworks out of her tits. It's probably supposed to be her heart, but whatever. Is there anything to learn from Marci X? Yes. You know what I hate? When a movie ends and they have that list of what happened to all the characters in the movie after the movie's done. Even good movies do this occasionally, like Unstoppable with Denzel Washington from last year. It made sure that you knew everything worked out for the protagonist and everything went badly for those who stood in their way. There's no real antagonist in Unstoppable except the train. In Marci X, they talk about how the main characters' lives are after the movie, how their friends are, how the antagonist has had a change of heart, blah, blah, blah. For 2 minutes, while they make a pretty weak rap, they tie together every significant character in the movie and show how everything worked out just ducky. If you see this in a movie, it means two things. One, never making a sequel to it, which is not always a bad thing. And two, we didn't have an ending. I have no animosity for Marci X. It's not a project lacking ideas. It's just clumsy and careless. There's a reason it wasn't successful, but there's also a reason its name has been forgotten instead of persevering like a curse like Battlefield Earth. Thank you for listening. Hopefully I won't be back to the penalty box anytime soon. But until then, this is King Cool, and please drive home safe.